Hello guys, so welcome to my channel. So in this video I am going to talk about hashtag read banned books 2022, and I think as a booktuber I definitely disagree on banning books, and I'm sure all of you guys would share the same sentiment as well. I think that banning books is just it's an honestly insulting thing to do uh, towards readers, because it seems to suggest that readers who read those banned books seem to be unable to think critically, or at least that's how it feels like here in Malaysia, where certain books were and are indeed banned, and it's kind of frustrating. So yeah, in this video I'm going to talk about books that, and I would say popular books that were sort of banned in Malaysia. And before I get into talking about these books, first of all, I'm not exactly sure what banned in Malaysia really entails, because by law, banned materials are not supposed to be like owned or distributed or something like that. But then again, I do own one of the books that I'm going to talk about, and this book in particular is in fact being kind of like shown publicly on plenty Instagram feeds and stuff like that. It's there. I'm sure that this book is kind of in the on at least some of the bookshelves that I found on certain bookstores in Malaysia. So I'm talking about this book in particular, which I really want to read. This is Alan Hollinghurst's The Line of Beauty, and I think we can all guess why this book was kind of banned in Malaysia. Now, whether it was officially banned or not, I'm not entirely sure, but as I was sort of like searching about books that were banned in Malaysia, this book appeared in one of the articles, and yeah, it's it totally, I wouldn't say it makes sense, but it's obviously it was banned because of its gay content. And this book is it's kind of considered as a modern classics when it comes to gay literature, and I've always been wanting to read this book because of the vibe that it exudes. I think that this is probably like one of those books that I think that I would probably like, and but then again, I'm not sure what this book is about. I can't tell you what this book is about. There is a sort of like a synopsis at the back of this book, but I did not read it. Because when it comes to books like these, the ones with really vague titles, really abstract kind of a title, I just really want to go into that book completely blind. That's how I approach my literary fiction most of the time. But yeah, this is apparently, according to one article at least online, one of the books that was banned in Malaysia. So I hope to read this book this year. I actually planned to read it last year, but then for some reason I did not get into it. So hopefully this year I'm gonna try it and experience it. So yeah, aside from this book, I'm also going to talk about some of the books that I actually do not own, but are more renowned when it comes to their banned status in Malaysia. So the next one would be a book that I really am interested in reading, and I've been interested in this book for many years already, but I have not acquired that book. And this book is the Satanic Verses by Salman Rushdie. And okay, so this book is sort of infamous for being banned in Malaysia, and it's because of its kind of like so-called blasphemous portrayal of Islam, that it was banned here. And I think this book was also banned in many other countries as well. So yeah, I actually have not found this book being physically sold in any of the bookstores that I've been to here in my country. Not even one particular big bookstore called Kinokuniya in Kuala Lumpur. Usually that bookstore would have many books. Especially literary fiction, stuff like modern classics. That bookstore would have many books. But I don't think I have ever seen the Satanic Verses in that store. So it's kind of difficult to get this book. I'm not sure whether it's because of it being actively banned or because there is no demand for it. I don't think there is no demand for it. This book is like really notorious. So I was actually considering to order this book from Book Depository. But then when it comes to Book Depository, because the books will be shipped from overseas to my address, the thing is, parcels can be sort of like open and inspected at border control by the customs. I actually experienced that once with my first ever Book Depository order, and so the parcel that I received would actually bear the markings of it being unsealed, and there would be like this kind of like shoddy seal and some kind of stamp or something that says it has been open for inspection. I suppose this is kind of like things that are normally done to random parcels coming from overseas, because I don't think that it happens to every parcels, because my subsequent orders were kind of in pristine condition. But it can certainly happen to any of my Book Depository orders that I would probably make in the future. And I'm just kind of concerned that if I were to order the Satanic Verses from Book Depository, then then what if the parcel is being inspected and the book is sort of confiscated? And I would say my biggest concern would be the money lost when I place the order, because to me, ordering books on Book Depository is not cheap. So yeah, I do have a little bit of concern about that. But I have found out that there is one online Malaysian-based bookstore that seemed to have that book in its catalog. So I might consider ordering from that store instead. If I feel like ordering something new. So yeah, that's kind of like a little bit of my story with the Satanic Verses. I've not read anything by Rushdie actually. I had Midnight's Children, but it's actually in my family's house right now in East Malaysia, so I don't have access to it. I sort of read a few pages in that book, but then after that I had some other engagement, and so I sort of ended up not reading that book at that time. So I can't really say whether I like his writing or not, but the ruckus surrounding the Satanic Verses just made that book feel kind of really fascinating, and it sort of attached this kind of like mystiques around that book. And yeah, that's it for my my kind of like story on the Satanic Verses. And moving on to the third one, I also do not have these books, but when I was actually looking through some the books that were banned in Malaysia, I found out that 50 Shades trilogy was also banned in Malaysia, apparently because of its pornographic content. Now, I have not read these books, obviously, so I cannot say that I will like, or I will hate, or I will love this book. I don't have any kind of concrete judgment on these books. I have heard what other people say about these books, so I'm not going to deny I do have a little bit of preconceived notions about what these books are going to be like, what reading them would sort of entail. But yeah, it's the fact that it is on the list of books that were kind of banned here in my country. It sort of makes me wonder: is it a sign for me to pick up those books? And it's just kind of hilarious to think that reading the 50 Shades trilogy books could possibly be a political act. Just to so yeah, again, I don't know how I will receive those books. I might end up loving them, who knows, right? But thinking that thinking about the fact that reading those books could be political is just, I don't know, there's something that feels kind of funny about that. Anyway, I'm going to end this video on that note. So yeah, this is hashtag read banned books 2022. If you get any chance to read any banned books, I mean, I'm pretty sure you guys will go for it anyway. Yeah. So yeah, I guess that's it. And I'm going to see you in a different video. So until then, take care. Thanks for watching and bye.